great question, because in general surgery residency, you mentioned working, 80 hours a week. So
Hmm.
how far from the hospital do you think one could reasonably live during that time?
So because I lived in Chicago and we went to multiple hospitals, I lived really far away. So when I started residency, we had a hospital that was 55 minutes away. And when I started, that was the most common hospital I was going to. We merged with another hospital, and that had already started to take place by the time I had chosen a place to live, which was only 45 minutes away. But I still drove 45 minutes, every morning for the majority of residency. And then in the evening, when I'd be driving home, I'd be hitting rush hour traffic, and it would frequently be more than 1 hour. And that being said, I took in-house calls, so I wasn't at
Mhm.
home coming back to the hospital. And many general surgery programs will be set up that way. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter how far you are from the hospital if you're taking in-house calls. So for people who don't know that distinction, meaning when I was on call in general surgery residency, I was sitting in the hospital for 24 plus hours at a time. I wasn't going home, to take a
Mhm.
shower and then run back to the hospital. And I only took home call very selectively in my program. And I knew that, going in when I chose to live where I wanted to live. It's different if you're taking home call, in which case I would tell you probably 10, 15 minutes, or figure out what the culture is with, what the expectation is at your hospital. Depends a little bit on who else is in the hospital. Maybe you're a chief who has to go in, but you have first or second year that is in-house. So that's a consideration. And are you a level 1 trauma center, level 2 trauma center? What are the logistics of that, and what's the traffic in the city that you live in? And winter is a thing in the Midwest. So
Yeah.
your commute might be 10 minutes today, but it might be 30 minutes tomorrow if it's snowing. And then typically when you're an attending, you're not going to be taking in-house call, and typically response times are going to be less than 30 minutes. I currently live about 10 minutes from the hospital. Um, so, that's a little bit different for me.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this, click the thumbnail to watch the full video, or visit Student Doctor Network to see the free resources we have available to help you become a doctor.